So how did you do? How long can you go without receiving such things? Now, bear in mind that sometimes this is something that we may have been doing in our lives unconsciously. So you need to look deep within. You should maybe, if you have someone that's close to you that you can trust, that has known you for a long time, ask them for their opinion or some feedback, and do an independent, do an objective assessment of this area of your life. Because sometimes, like I said, it can be deep-seated, it can be unconscious, and we may think that, no, I don't live for the approval of others. So we're not talking about being irresponsible or doing things in a mediocre manner, and we never care if we're pleasing those in our lives, if we're pleasing those that we serve or work for. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the source of satisfaction. It must be God, full stop. Okay? I'm just glancing at my notes because I've got much that I want to share with you. A lot of it is new, some of it is new to me, and I don't want to miss anything because I can feel that people need to hear what I'm saying. People need to have some liberation from being enslaved to seeking the approval of others. Okay, if you having said what I've just said, on the other hand, if you constantly experience rejection and people never want to be around you, or you don't have any lasting relationships, then maybe there's something that you need to look at in your life. You need to get some feedback from as many people as possible in different areas, and see if there's a commonality, if there is a common denominator in all the feedback that you get. Then work on that area of your life. Sometimes it can be something connected to communication skills. Maybe you don't give people the chance to express their opinions. Maybe you're always talking about yourself and your achievements and not showing interest in other people. Sometimes it's something physical that you have to work on, hygiene, so many things. But just bear that in mind, that sometimes if you see it happening constantly for a long period of time in your life, then maybe if it's not seasonal, then maybe you want to check it out. Okay? Now let's look at someone else in a similar position to Leah, and that was Hannah. Okay? Now Hannah is married to Elkanah, and but he also has a wife called Peninnah. Now Peninnah is having fun with her children. Or you can even say she's having children for fun. It's just like, I'm just doing my nails. What shall I do? I'll have another child. And what shall I do today? I think I'll have another baby. That's how it seems. It was just easy for her. And she was not nice to Hannah about it. That's the thing. She was very nasty to Hannah. And this is the pain of Hannah. So maybe you can't really call this rejection, but this is more about being despised, okay? And the two are close anyway. So Hannah is despised in the eyes of Peninnah. But you see, Hannah's heart is different because her heart is towards the Lord. She says she wants the Lord to open her womb and she will give that child back to the Lord. But in the meantime, can you imagine the pain that she's going through? I mean, Peninnah is being horrible to her. It's like, you can imagine, Hannah, I need a favor. Would you look after my 3 children today? Because I'm busy with my 4th one. And I know that you don't have anything to do, so I just thought I would ask you if you would help me. Can you imagine that living year after year after year like this, it gets to you, okay? So Hannah cries out, but what does she do? She lets her situation push her towards God. And when God gave her the gift of the fruit of the womb, she presents him back to the Lord. She has the right attitude and she is at peace. So it means that it was never about trying to, prove to Peninnah, well, I'm a woman also, I can be a mother, I can have children. Otherwise she would have held on to Samuel. But you see, Leah did that. She held on to all her children, gave them, those names, and said that it means the husband will love her now, and it never happened. But Hannah gave her son back to the Lord, and you know what happened? The ending, the rest of Hannah's life was more blessed than Peninnah's. Because when Peninnah stopped bearing children, Hannah kept bearing. And not only that, but her first child Samuel grew up to be a mighty, one of the greatest prophets in history. A mighty man of God. Okay? That's what God can do when you know how to appreciate and appropriate his gifts. And you let his gifts drive you to him. And to receive his love. Okay? Now, it's interesting that Jesus was in the lineage of Hannah. So Hannah prophesies that when she's talking about herself, the one that was bearing has stopped. The one that was barren has born 7. She's talking about herself, that she was barren, she's had 7 children. But if you count, you will see that actually she had 6. So why does she prophesy under the anointing that she has 7? Because the 7th one is her spiritual offspring, which is the Messiah. Whoa! So who ended up better? Hannah or Peninnah? I think you can tell, alright? This is what God can do when you know how to handle his gifts. So don't try to impress your Peninnah. Don't try to impress your Elkanah. Don't try to impress your Jacob or your Rachel. Just make sure that you're pleasing to God. And then he will raise you up. And you'll be happy because you're accepted by him. But even when those people that you're seeking the acceptance and the approval of, even if they will give you it, it will not produce the deep satisfaction that only God can give you.